is crazy. And you get and you get, wait, you got Baron. Okay. Teemo Gap. Alright guys, welcome back to another Popezano VOD review. Today we're going to be looking at a very special champion to my heart, but you might hate him. That's going to be Teemo, being played in the support position, which is actually one of my favorite things. Honestly, this is my guilty pleasure pick. I even created a Smurf account at one point a few seasons back just to play Teemo support. Honestly, it is so much fun. So when I saw a request for Teemo support coaching, I knew I needed to take this. So yeah, this is in like mid bronze elo, bronze 3 I believe, and you know, we'll see how this Teemo plays this out. I mean, he's against a Tristana and a Nami. Nami is a harder matchup for sure because she can kind of just, you know, deny everything that you're trying to do between your poke, and she can also trade on you really hard. There's not a whole lot you can do. It's funny, I'm speaking about this because I actually know like support Teemo's matchups. However, he is really good against Tristana, right? Because you just hold your Q the whole time, and then the second that Tristana jumps, you just blind her, and she cannot like stack her bomb. So it's pretty insane here. So okay, let's see how we do. So it looks like we took Q level 1. I don't mind taking Q level 1. Usually the question that I'm asking if I'm taking Q level 1 as Teemo support is, am I going to be auto-attacking at all level 1? I think in this case against a Nami, you're probably not so much. As I say that, you definitely could have auto-Q'd there. And that's kind of what we're going to be looking for with Teemo very frequently. Auto-Q auto or just auto-Q. Okay, so we just queued there again. I think you can auto-attack there. The other thing I want you to be... So we're trying to like get this minion off of our backs, which is fine. You don't want to be taking minion aggro. But the thing is, we also want to be hitting the wave because we need level 2 first, right? If they hit level 2 first, it could get bad. Even though you do have blind against the Tristana, it's still going to be a lot of damage onto one of you guys with Trist and Nami using their spells on you. So hit the wave here. Gotta hit the wave. And always forget. Zoom out a little bit. Okay, so we hit level 2. So I just want to take a look here, right? Because we're definitely not ready for the level 2 spike at all. So again, guys, on the second wave, you will hit level 2 after the first 3 melees, right? So this minion and this minion should get you level 2, all right? So you need to be ready for that, especially if you see that you're going to hit it first. So watch, you just need this minion, and right here, you're about to turn 2. Oh, right, my bad, I didn't realize that there were still 4 casters, because you do need the whole first wave to die. Regardless, when you're hitting level 2, you're still, like, you're just too far away. I actually want you to recognize that we're hitting level 2 and start walking up towards them. What is even better in some cases is that you're already walking towards them when you're level 1, and then they're thinking, what is this guy doing, right? He's crazy, and they start hitting you, but you can, you know, in this case, blind the Tristana. Then you hit level 2 while they're already engaged fighting you, and you can really deal some damage, catch them off guard, get a lot of damage off. Okay, so we auto-Q... But again, here, like, we can definitely trade another auto attack, right? Because you're actually blinding the Triss. So you hit level 2, you walk up, okay, you auto Q, and now I just want to see another auto. Like, she's still level 1, and if we look at the wave, they still actually have some minions to kill here before they're gonna hit level 2, right? So I would just start instantly fighting here, like even MF. If she just walks up and starts hitting here, this is so free. This fight should be very in your favor here, but you actually end up losing the trade because you don't commit as much as you should. Okay, so they hit level 2. And we're gonna walk up and drop a ward. Okay. So I don't believe we've seen Warwick on the map quite yet. I'm actually going to switch it to blue vision. We haven't seen Warwick on the map quite yet. And so we don't actually know where he's at. So I don't mind this ward. You know, another thing I want to point out actually about this ward, I really like this ward position from our bronze player. So the question is, right, for me, can the jungler get over this wall? Right, with Warwick, the answer is no. Can the jungler walk through here? Like, yes, like every jungler can do that. Can the jungler get over this wall? No, with Warwick. Or can the jungler get over this thick part of the wall? And again, with Warwick, it's no, right? Against a Zac, for instance, or against a Kayn, you have to consider different ward placements. But I really like this ward placement. I would actually even like it up a little bit higher. Maybe just a smidge, because I want to see Scuttle Crab if that's being fought soon. But you see here, what's really nice about this ward is that you're actually covering multiple entrances to come and gank you, right? So let's say if Warwick walks around here, you're going to be able to see this. Your tower is going to give you vision of this, okay? This ward helps. Or if he just decides to walk through here, you're going to see him as well, right? So actually warding this bush, if you did that, if let's say if you warded in here, you would be cutting your vision, you know, down like this, right? If you imagine all of this is dark, you're giving yourself much less reaction time. The only way that this ward is more helpful is if the jungler is, you know he's in there, and you can, you know, obviously see him standing in there. But that's the only time that ward is better. Okay, so let's see how we play this here. Okay, we mess up our spacing a little bit. So we're definitely going to try to play outside of Nami's W space. And the thing is, when Nami's W is down, we should be looking to trade. And again, on Teemo, you're generally not going to have enough damage early on just your Q that just going up to drop a Q and trading, like, you know, you basically tank Q for her W. It's just never worth here. Like, what if you're going to do this, I want to see you, as she's walking into your attack range, you just auto, Q, and auto, and that's pretty much all the trading she's going to be able to do, right? So, I mean, in this case, Nami has taken, what'd she take second? She took bubble second, right? So she could try to bubble you, but we're ready for that. So we auto, and we're stepping to the side. We're stepping one way. Or you can auto Q and step to the side and get that second auto off, right? So because our Q is an auto attack reset, we can easily get 2 auto attacks off. So as you can see here, it's just never really that good to just trade your W, or trade your Q for her W. Again, you're walking up too close without the intention of putting down enough damage to make that worth it. The other thing here is that there are a few instances where you're playing on the side that Nami's playing on, where I would actually like to see you play more towards Tristana. She's a bit lower range, and that's who you want to be hitting with Qs. So okay, look at this, guys. Like, our bronze player is actually gonna go and roam here. Really nice, really well done. So let's just back this up quick, right? So we're coming out of base, and look, we actually are able to see, right? We actually are able to see the blast plant get hit here. Like, we see the little wave go up on the map, and our bronze player actually sees this, recognizes it, and is going towards this to try to help Jarvan secure his jungle. Like, this is actually really good awareness. I'm not a fan of this ward, actually. Because like, at the end of the day, if he's on this, when you walk around, you're gonna see that, and then he has nowhere to go. He's either needs to fight you, you have teammates up here, or you have Silas here, right? He needs to get around you, probably out this way, but you're gonna see him, right? So I think this is a bit of a waste. You could probably hold this ward, and then obviously walking up through here, assuming he's not on this, you'll be able to see like all the important areas of the jungle. Obviously blue's not up, but you catch my drift. Then nice auto Q, and then we auto him down, right? Auto Q auto. That is the main thing we want to be doing on Teemo. So let's see what you pick up here. So we go towards boots and a boots in a control ward. I actually like early rush of boots on Teemo. In most cases, I think going towards an early like Sork boot is very good on Teemo. It gives you a lot of stats that you want. Movement speed is really strong on Teemo. Obviously, any type of magic pen is very good too. So they are doing the dragon. Okay, so let me just back it up here because I don't think we have any indication. We have no way of knowing that he's on this. So let me just back it up here. Just watch from this point again. So the question is, like, right, for you as a support player, like, what do we want to do with this wave, right? We know that these guys have backed. They're gone. They've backed. It's been too long since we saw them. They're probably back in base, if not already coming back, right? So the question is, do you have enough time to shove all of this, probably 2 waves, right? Just because of how long it's going to take to kill this, and to get it under tower so that it starts to slow push back to you? Or do you need to just not touch the wave and just base, right? Now, I know in bronze, wave management is not a strength for most people, and this MF probably is just gonna, autopilot and shove this out. But it is also our job to try to communicate things, right? So in this case, I want you to actually not try to auto this down, because I don't think, especially it being a cannon, especially that you guys don't have any damage items, you can't one-shot the wave, right? I want you to try to ping her off, like just tell her to stop at such a point when this would have been a frozen wave, right? And just base, right? She's really low. Let her base. Or like, hopefully she recognizes that. You can obviously attempt, you can communicate that in chat. Because if she's not hitting it here, like if she leaves these minions, this will actually stay, right? This is a frozen wave. And we know that just because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minions, 3 casters and 2 melees. And they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minions, right? They have, was that 4 casters and 3 melees? And then obviously 1 cannon each. Why did my marker do this? Did I do that? Oh, man. But yeah, so... Oh, it was definitely this. Okay. Ignore me. So, basically, you could then just base, come all the way back with a buy, and maybe you go roam because you just base, but your MF could come back with a buy, and the wave would hopefully be in a very similar position to this. But what I'm afraid of here is you're actually going to auto-attack the wave too much, and it's going to get stuck in this position by your enemy bot lane. And it's going to be a really good spot for them. So let's see how this plays out, right? So we're kind of hitting the wave, we're kind of not, and we can already see how the problem is starting to form. Exactly. Now what has happened is just by auto-attacking a full wave, slowly, not even trying to hard shove it, now you can see the wave has met here. You have way more minions. It's going to slowly push in. Against a good bot lane, like a good AD carry, is going to just simply last hit, let that wave come in, and freeze here. MF loses 2 to 3 waves just from basing here. It could get really, really bad for you. Alright, let's see how this plays out. So Warwick gets the dragon. We can't really chase him just because we don't have a mid laner here. And Jarvan wants to invade. So I really don't like this because we know Warwick is around, we don't have a mid laner, and their bot lane is coming. Thankfully, Warwick completely ints. And so we take those. We take those. And there's the bot lane. Good blind, good flash. But unfortunately, getting chunked and losing our flash is definitely an overstay on our part. We know that they were coming back. So, another thing is like, I'm like, now that I've been putting out enough videos, I am starting to hear a bit of feedback, and I'm trying to take feedback into consideration, and always trying to improve here, guys. So if you have any feedback, if you want to see these videos improve, just let me know what you think in the comments. If you are enjoying, I would appreciate a sub. Always helps. Okay, so let's just see how we play this. Okay, so we're walking it up. You do get bubbles. Good. Really good blind. That's always going to be our blind target, basically. Hit like Warwick and Trist are going to be prime blind targets. The other thing that you can do this game is, and this is more of a Teemo thing, right? You got to ask yourself, do the enemy champions also have empowered auto attacks? And in this case, like a Kali, for instance, does have empowered auto attacks when she gets her passive. So we want to be trying to blind that stuff too. Really like this. I really like this. Nice gank by Jarvan. Nice decision by you to just go invisible in the middle of the lane. I mean, it's always great to use our champions' passives and abilities to, you know, it's their fullest extent or to the best we can. I think that was really well done. Good choice. Okay, so here... So, you have, like, you have Ignite. Oh boy. You are dead. Okay, so this is what I was going to say before all this transpired. I was going to say, yes, you have Ignite, right? What you could do is, if you want to fight here, walk up, auto, Q, auto, and Ignite, right? As your, like, auto Q auto is very quick. Your Ignite, will definitely kill here, or you can do it to her. If you're going to do this, you need to full commit, right? Because you can get yourself in trouble by just walking up to try to stat check a champion that actually can trade one-for-one abilities on you really well. So I think you're actually lucky here that, you know, in this case she doesn't have W. And then obviously we just make a mistake and we walk a bit too far under tower. It happens. It happens. Okay, so let's see what we do coming out of base. And we also buy that Lost Chapter. I would personally, again, I would be going for Sorks first before a Lost Chapter. We're going to roam again. I really like your roams. I really like your roams. These are great. Okay. He should go down here. Alright, we get the kill from the poison. So, just a mechanical thing. I noticed that when you walk up, you auto Q, which is fine. But then we're kind of just we're standing still a little bit. You definitely need to get into the habit of moving every time you auto. So you auto, and then you move, and then you auto, and then you move, right? And I don't really care where you move, although you want to think, like, in this situation, where does Warwick want to go? The only way that he can get out, really, is by using his, using the Blast Plant in some way, shape, or form. So I would personally be moving in such a way where I would always be in the same part of the Blast Cone as him, because you know he can't fight you. Like, you're dead for sure, right? Or he's dead for sure. So here, instead of just continuing to stand here, I would have kind of walked this way, if that makes sense. And then he would be just... It would be even more futile. He'd be blasting you with him. But you do get the kill. But I just want to commend you again on these roams, actually. Like, really good stuff. Nice. Okay, good try. So here, let's see how we take this. So we auto the Blast Cone. So I'm not a huge fan of just your pathing here, because right now we're kind of on this trajectory. Like, maybe we're kind of going right towards her. As you can see, she just killed the last minion. She's obviously going to walk away, right? So the best thing that you can do here is, instead of taking this path, I want you to literally just beeline this way. Okay? That's how we're going to cut her off. So you watch, like, your just the path you decide to take. Like, she's already walking up this way, and we can see that. And you're still hugging this wall. We need to be a bit quicker at recognizing that. Change our pathing. Was a good try. Definitely would have killed her with some better pathing there, but it was a good try. Okay. So, I've been telling this to a few students. If your intention is to base, don't walk so far to just start basing, okay? Like, especially in this situation, you're so safe, right? You just, like, Warwick just died, and then you just ganked top, who had to leave. I would literally, once Cassante took over the wave, I would either have gone back in here to base, gone in here to base, or would have just stood still the second Cassante started hitting the the minions, right? Because they're not going to hit you and cancel your base. So we gotta cut out some of the fat here, if you want to put it that way. Save some time. But overall, really good roam. That was very well done. Okay, so we come back and we looks like we bought an amp tome, which is totally fine. You're probably going towards that Leandri's, which I think is good. We're gonna drop a scan here. Now, okay, I think the time that you went to scan is fine. Let's see what you do. You want to roam again, I can tell. So you're pinging mid. And again, like, you're clearly looking at the map, which I do like a lot. Oh, here you guys, I don't know if you noticed, but your jungler was already using this scanner. And so definitely using yours just made it slightly redundant. Okay, we're starting to waste a bit of time here. So again, like, I like that you're looking at the map. I like that you want to move. Here's the question, right? Akali at level 9 with this HP value, and you know, if you have no reason to know that her flash is down and just assume it's up, is it, like, what is the percent that you actually get this kill here by kind of walking through here and just running at an Akali, right? I would say probably 10%. Probably 10%. And the reason why I say that is the only way you catch her, not only the way that you catch her, because even if you start auto attacking her, she's still so healthy, right? The only way that you catch her is if she is just completely oblivious shopping. Okay, so these types of plays I want us to avoid as much as possible. So here, right, she's paying attention, and it's just not even close. She gets over the wall and she's gone. Okay, we're looking at dragon. Okay, so this dragon is okay, but I want you to understand why it's not, like, perfect. It's mainly because of the bot lane wave state. I would actually prefer you to reverse the order in which you're doing these things, okay? I would ping to go bot, like, I'm on my way, on my way, on my way. You're spam pinging your bot lane, or excuse me, you're spam pinging your AD carry, letting them know, and you're by doing that and indicating with your body language that you want to go bot, you're not stopping at dragon, you're going and pinging, Jarvan will hopefully follow you too. Or you can type like free gank bot or whatever you want, right? We just want to go bot here, because if we can at least get this shoved in or chunk them down or get a kill, then this dragon is even more free, right? But in this situation, what can happen is Warwick actually shows up, this bot lane roams, and then the fight is not clear whatsoever. So you guys do get the dragon. Okay. Come down bot, let's see what we decide to do here. Alright, Jarvan starts to invade. So again, in this situation where your jungler is invading, and obviously Warwick is mid because Rift Herald just got dropped, I'm wanting prio here because there's actually a lot happening, right? There's too much happening on the map currently that is too volatile for the wave state to be like this. So I would start actually autoing this a bit more. You know, not trying to take CS from your AD carry, but just get this shoved up here so that you guys can, you know, be ready to respond to something. Maybe that means you go all the way mid and you're looking to help against the Rift Heralds. Maybe that means you're going to make sure that your jungler can get that bot side. But there's just too much happening right now for this kind of neutral passive wave state. I would say that's actually true for both bot laners right now. You should both be trying to get prio. Right, so here, so this is actually a really good picture, right? Because this is exactly what I'm talking about. So even just this little bit of prio, you lost vision, okay? The wave has been shoved in. Obviously, it's going to get killed, so it's going to go back to a neutral state. But right now, you guys are kind of still preoccupied with a minion that is in front of you. You're sitting invisible, kind of wondering what's going on. Overall, this is really scary for Jarvan, right? He could get put into a really bad situation here just because you didn't decide to get prio, right? So again, is it on Jarvan? It's not the greatest invade timer. Is that on Jarvan? Like a little bit, but also it's on you because you can be helping in this situation. And I mean, boys, call me, I did not watch this game beforehand. Call me prophet Call me Prophet Paisano, boys, because that is exactly what just happened. Look, I mean, you gotta drop a like and a sub for Prophet Paisano. That's all I'm gonna say. But overall, right, this is why bot lane prio is very, very important. I think it is lower MMRs, so there is a good chance that, you know, you guys can totally salvage a fight like this in a game. But I think overall, this could potentially have been a game-losing fight, or at least you're being put very behind. Sorry, I just smacked my mic. But at least you're being put very behind in a game like this. And that's only off of bot lane priority, that's crazy to think about, but it's true. Okay, so we look for another roam. Again, I really like how you're not just autopilot going bottom every time. Okay. And does the poison kill? It should, right? Very close. It doesn't. Okay, so just again, a bit of a mechanical thing. I just want to show you. So as we're walking up, so we're here. You actually walk up and Q. Okay, so you're either in auto attack range or you're on, like, this is probably about the range of Teemo's auto, maybe slightly closer. I think you're probably just in there. Again, always auto attack if you can, right? Because all Q does, it's actually like got I think it might actually be the same range as Teemo's auto attack, or maybe slightly longer. But anyway, basically, if you are queuing, you're wasting your movement speed because you have to stand still to either Q or auto, and you're not going to be able to Q auto if you're at your max range, right? You're only going to get Q because they're both moving this way in some way, shape, or form, right? Whether that's walking, whether that's a dash, whether that's, you know, Cassante ulting somebody up here, you're going to suddenly be out of range. We want to auto Q here. Or, better yet, in my opinion, we actually just keep walking at her until we're in more of a range where we can get 2 or 3 autos and a Q, or 2 autos and a Q without, you know, being out of range like this. So, just a small mechanical thing, but it is actually the reason why she doesn't die here. Okay, so Warwick shows up. And, yeah, we can fight this. So, I'm looking to shove in this wave to help out Cassante. I don't care at all about Warwick. It's not looking good for you, my guy. Yeah. So I notice you do ping Cassante, but it is your fault. But it's all good. It's all good. I like that you are still you're still looking for roams. Every time you come out of base, it's really, really good. Again, like, is every roam that you're doing perfect? No, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, these are the patterns that we want to establish, and then we can also ask questions as to, like, what makes a roam good, you know what I mean? Like, maybe we can have a discussion about that later, or maybe we can even make a video about that later, which I would be totally open to. But in bronze, in silver, in gold even, we're still looking to establish patterns of play that are good. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and clear. So here, I'm not a huge fan of, as Teemo support, this is obviously specific to Teemo support. I mean, it can apply to top lane too, if you think about, like, the map being mirrored up there. But I don't like shrooms up here. A, because they're actually not guaranteed to hit. If you look at where you're placing them, if someone is wanting to like come gank you, where are they going to walk, right? If they're coming through river. Okay, maybe you get lucky and they walk over here. If they're walking straight down the middle, sure. But if a jungler comes out of his top side, he's walking like this, right? So we want to be placing shrooms in such a way where it's not necessarily in the middle of things, because people don't walk that way, right? Think about even here. If you wanted to walk, you know, up to your tri-brush right now, are you going to walk through, like, this section? Probably not. You're gonna walk along this wall, right? That is, you know, or maybe a slightly more out, but you kind of get the point. The other reason why I don't like these shrooms too much is because they're only covering, like, one side of this. Similar to how I said the ward up here was good because you get vision of really all, you get vision of all of this, which is great. The shrooms are doing the opposite, where you could be covering both ways into the lane like this by just placing these shrooms here, right? Okay. So I just need to talk about shroom placement. That is definitely Teemo specific, but you know, it's important. Okay, so I like this one. I don't like this one so much. I would be worried about the wave potentially hitting it. It's close. I really like a shroom here, and I really like a shroom here. I really like a shroom here, right? These are all great spots, and if you want, you can put one down like right here on the other side of this wall. All right, so we go invisible again. You want to catch them out. I like that you're looking for this. Oh, yeah. Oh, really well done. Super well done. So, we're invisible. Does MF show? Or did they must have saw her. They saw her go in. Oh, right. In my head, I was thinking I had the fog of war turned off. And I was like, why don't we see red wards? But, okay, obviously that's warded. We do pick up 2 kills. I kind of like that you're going for these. I mean, this is kind of the cheeky play that you need to have when you play Teemo, right? Good shroom on the wave. I was going to ask you to do that. Very good. Because we even though it's a cannon wave, we have to reset this. We can't let the cannon wave sit perfectly frozen. Okay. Don't auto the tower there. I just want to see you base. You got a bunch of kills. You're low. I just base here. Right. Let's check your gold. You have almost 1,700 gold by the time you get in base. You're basically 1,700 gold. Way too much. If you have shroom cooldown, just use it where you're at, right? So you're sitting here. You have shroom cooldown. Put one here, and then you're going back. Okay. We actually end up losing tower off of both of you and MF not prioritizing, you know, that instant base and instant comeback. Good flash on the Warwick ult. Let's see here. What do you have, by the way? Okay, we have the Leandries, we have the Sorks. You're very strong. I would not be afraid to fight here. Yeah, I don't... Okay, let's just see how you play this. Okay, you Q auto again. Has to be auto Q. Has to be auto Q. Okay. Let's see an auto Q. No. Auto Q my Bandle City buddy. The game is looking good. Like, their team comp is so utterly abysmal that it makes it very hard for them to fight. That said, I think we are playing the fights decently. We can be a bit better with our mechanics, but that's okay. Okay, this is actually really good. So, question here, right? And I would actually like to see, you know, if you have an opinion on this, like, let me know in the comments, right? Question here. Does Teemo stay and try to get this tower, or do you go to Rift Herald here, or do you base, right? You kind of have those 3 options in this situation, in my opinion. Before I talk about it, I'm really interested to see, so pause and go down to the comments, let me know. But this is what I think, all right? I think you do not hit the tower here and you go to Herald. Why? Well, you only have 1 minute left. This is going to be the only option for you to get that objective for the rest of the game, right? I think that being able to pick that up at like the last second is really huge. You basically squeezed water out of stone from that situation, right? Where winning that fight, you get Herald. The other thing is, sitting here and auto-attacking this turret, it's going to take you a little while, especially on your own, right? So in a way, you're taking this slower, and you're taking this slower as a team than if you just went. Because if you go, you're probably going to be able to just get this in one shot anyway. So I would like you to go and try to just get Rift Heralds here, rather than worry too much about this. You know, and the other thing is, like, Rift Herald gives gold too, right? So, not a bad thing. You do manage to get the tower. Okay. We're gonna shove this in. Ooh, we don't shove it all the way. Not the worst thing ever, but not great. again, as we can see, like while there are you're playing well, by the way, but there are some macro mistakes, I believe. And I like in bronze elo, they're just not being punished whatsoever. And so I think like the lower elo that we are on the ladder, one thing that I believe we have to recognize to be objective about our play is I don't think we can judge it based on like the results, right? Because in a lot of situations there will be things that we're doing incorrectly where, you know, it's just not being punished in the way that it might be elsewhere, and so the result might be positive or come out better than we expected or something like that. But the actual decision itself wasn't optimal, or wasn't a good one to begin with. That's like the most dangerous. That's the hardest thing, right? Okay, so we come over here. I really appreciate that we tried to last hit that from our AD carry. Obviously, if you're playing Teemo support, always last hit everything from your AD carry, and then all chat AD diff at the same time. If you do that, I think if you do that like 5 to 10 times per game, you have a small chance for your AD to get a free BF sword. So because you didn't type AD diff, you just get absolutely clapped here by Akali. Okay, but if we're being serious for a second, like, okay, we get the kill, and yes, we get a flash. It looks pretty good that we can walk in here, but again, we're just only as 3, right? And like, we're kind of chasing. We're chasing a Callista who has full resources. She's not low. The only reason why she ran is because she couldn't get around here without dying, right? That's the only reason why she flashed. I actually think that flash kind of tricks you guys into thinking you're in a better position than you are. And unfortunately, we do, I think, just forget about some of the threats that can be on the map, right? So especially in these situations where it's just so dark, so much fog of war around you, you know for a fact now 2 are around, your spidey senses should be going off. Like, okay, well, where on earth is Tristana? Where is Akali, right? Just having a bit more awareness. And of course, we do unfortunately walk right into them. So I would say this is kind of the second mistake of the game where you do end up getting punished for some suspicious, you know, macro and maybe a bit of like complacency, and you know, we just need to be very, very careful of that, because, you know, the higher you climb, just people will be able to take advantage of some of these mistakes better. And now they are making a mistake where I don't think they had any reason to try Baron here, but they are. And Akali just dies. Oh my goodness gracious. Do you guys get the Baron? Oh, it's smiteable. What? Did no one have smite there? What on earth? Wow. Let me just go back and take a look at this again. Because this guy's a 1200 smite value. And this is a very smiteable Baron. He's literally still using abilities, by the way. He just straight up decided not to smite. That's crazy. That is crazy. And you get wait, you got Baron. Okay. Teemo gap. Alright. Well, really well done there. Good job getting the Baron. Hopefully we do see how a few decisions are leading us into precarious spots though, right? But overall, obviously you're having a really good game. Okay. So what do we buy now? Looks like we're going towards a demonic. You have all the components for it. Like, demonic got nerfed really, really hard. I think that in this type of game, Azanias would be absolutely broken on Teemo. You could also pick up an Oblivion Orb, right? They have quite a bit of healing on their team between Warwick and Tristana's heal and Nami W and that type of thing. So I think support Teemo, it's actually really OP to go for that Oblivion Orb. Okay, so we're autoing the correct target in this situation. Good flash. I really like the reaction there. Okay, you're gonna go down, so let me just watch this again from the top. I like this. I like this. This is one of those, like, I like it, but I don't like it kind of things. And So at first seeing this, I actually like that at the start of the fight you had the awareness to just like drop a ward, maybe in such an area where they could walk into. Okay, so that's good. The only thing I would say about you know, second guessing that a little bit is I think it's really, really important to be dropping shrooms kind of at people's feet during fights themselves, right? That allows us to kite, obviously puts down damage. And so as we can see, you have Noxus Trap here. You have two of them, actually. I would literally place one here, and then I would start fighting a Kali, and I would be looking to place another one, like maybe a few ticks after that goes down, right? Or to place another one here. Okay, oh, so you... Wait, did you... Is that a shroom? That's a shroom, right? Wait. Yeah, that's a shroom. It looks like a ward to me. So that was really good. And literally after I flash, I would just drop another one at my feet. So you're trying to run. Okay, you dropped that. Okay, so you do end up dropping the shrooms, but the placement is a bit off. You do end up missing them. Don't be afraid to, like, I wouldn't necessarily throw it at a Kali. I would actually, like, as I'm walking, you know, so you're walking this way. As I'm walking, okay, let's imagine you're walking here, you're going this way. As I'm moving, then I shroom, like, right at my own feet, and you almost, like, walk over it yourself. And in that instance, assuming they're chasing you, that shroom should arm by the time that they're walking over it. So that's just kind of my philosophy of how to drop shrooms when I'm being chased. Hey, and they walk into it anyway. And they walk into that one anyway. And you throw the emote. I mean, honestly, like, you basically just got a kill there for throwing that emote. So honestly, not even that bad. Okay, let's see if your team, they don't decide to do anything. 3 dragons to 1. Spooky. Okay. Okay, I am never gonna recommend you do this ever. It's too important at this part in the game. It is far too important to get your shrooms into locations on the map, like start getting deep in their jungle. You're using them as wards, you're using them to take away important choke points. You can't look, I know you're having fun, but like, bro, you're playing Connect 4 with your shrooms, right? In fact, you're playing Connect 4 with your shrooms against yourself, and I think you're losing. So in this case, like, it's kind of funny to look at, but I just want to show you. Like, you could put a shroom here, you could put a shroom in, like, these entrances, in any of these here, right? You can put a shroom down here, you can cover this entrance. It's way too important. Like, Teemo has so much vision control with the shroom placements and with your ward placements. It's too important to, you know, we're not trying to waste that cooldown this early. So this is where you should have been dropping earlier. Okay. Get a free kill. Yeah, let's see what happens here. Zoom back in a little bit. Okay, you dodged that. She misses that. Nice. Okay, I mean, the enemy team's not playing that well. That's a good shroom. I like that one. That's the type of corridor type stuff I'm talking about. Small areas. See, like, the duality of Teemo players, man. This shroom, good. It's hard for they might be able to squeeze through here, but it's going to be generally hard to, you know, get through this corridor. But then this, it's a bit awkward, right? Because it just leaves too many ways to get around it. Very seldom is someone going to walk along this unless they're trying to go all the way through here, which I just don't think it's high percentage enough, right? So even though Warwick watches you place that, he still runs through it. I guess that will happen in bronze play sometimes. Okay. Still sitting on those demonic components. You have a lot of gold. I want to see you base here. I don't think we've been warding quite enough. I want to see you, you know, often basing and getting those wards out. So in this case, right, depending on, or I also just saying, like, After all the plays all dead, you've done your shoving in, right? You've pushed everyone in, you got your tower, you got your kills. Now you guys are kind of walking back, and it's kind of that lull when you're looking to reset or something. Nothing is quite happening. You gotta reset here, especially with this HP value. Refresh those wards, get out on the map. Let's say it's dragon that's up next, right? We get into base. We're instant beelining here. We're getting our important wards out. And if you still have time before dragon, don't worry about it. Instant reset again so that you have more fresh wards on you. So that when the enemy team now is looking to come and, you know, get vision by that objective, you can fight back and replace those wards, right? So, you know, this is kind of how we keep tempo in a lot of ways as support. You know, we say vision wins games. There's a lot of cliche around that, but it really does, because, you know, vision is going to allow us to take control of these objectives that we need to end games in which we're ahead, just like this one. Okay, so let's see here. So you have full wards. Okay, we're looking to fight maybe. I just want to see us getting some vision out. Okay, you're putting yourself in a really scary spot. You know that they're coming, and you gave yourself not much time to walk through there. Akali maybe could have killed you there, honestly. Okay, so just because we dilly-daddly a little bit, you can see, right? Our vision is not deep enough. Like, this is kind of the arc that we have going on. We need vision also up in here to really get a picture of what's going on. So that is on you for being a bit late. You do get some vision out, which is good, but we need to be a bit quicker here, right? Okay, we do get that ward, which I really like. But, like, you see how dragon now is indicating it's going to be up in 60 seconds or less, right? That's what this gray, what the gray hourglass, I guess, means. You still have time. You've dropped your wards. Just instant reset right here, and then come back out. Come back out this way, and you're totally ready. You have the max amount of vision possible in order to fight for this dragon. You can do the same thing for Baron, right? I'm just using dragon as an example. Okay, so we're hitting bot. Team starts fighting. Okay, team gap a little bit. We start doing Baron. Okay. Okay. That's really good. Obviously, you didn't have to do too much there. Let's see, Cassante. Cassante plays that pretty well, actually. And then you guys actually pick up the dragon too. Super huge. Okay, let me just watch how you fight this again. Okay, so we prioritize the objective that's right in front of us and super low. That's really good. See, the only thing I don't like here is that we kind of get tunnel vision just a little bit, knowing Akali's in here, right? We have to avoid getting one shot, and ultimately, because you're on this side of the shroud, you're standing here. Whoever shows first and you can hit first safely, I think that's who you go for. Even if that means they start trading auto attacks, I don't want you cutting across here. It's a bit of a nitpicky thing, but Akali could potentially just murder you here, right? Like, this gets very close. Now, after this, right, so I want you to recognize... So this is another thing that I noticed with some low elo players is they might get low on abilities, but then they don't recognize that there's no more threat to them, right? And that they can still fight. So here we make the mistake of walking in front of Akali, but she's now used her ulti. It's down, right? Her ulti is down. The only thing we know we need to dodge is her E and a Q, right? You're already out of her range for that, or obviously not her E, but there's people between you. I would love to see you actually try to stay in this and just hug the outside of the fight a little bit. Try to come back in with blind here pretty soon. But see, like when we flashed, right? So we flashed from here. Akali's up here. I just don't think that she has no way to kill you anymore, right? Okay, so we drop a shroom. Alright, and then Akali ints. Alright, cool. I mean, that's good. Ooh, yeah. Alright. Look, I appreciate the confidence, actually. I might have done the same thing there. It was just, the feeling was too hype. Okay. So the game's starting to come to a close here. Let's see what we end up buying. So you finish that demonic, now you get the Oblivion Orb. I'm glad you got that. I wish you got it a bit earlier, but I'm glad you picked that up now. I'm not gonna get mad at any Teemo player for building demonic and Leandries. Like, sure, there's some better builds out there, some better AP items, but that's okay. Not a big deal. Okay, we're playing Connect 4 again. So, okay. I'm just gonna talk about shrooms again real quick, right? You never want shrooms like this close together. It's just, it's very useless, especially because if they're walking through here anyway, they're gonna hit this one. If they're walking through here, they're gonna hit this one, right? So this is probably the only acceptable one. No one is ever walking alongside this except in very specific scenarios. I would much rather you to save this, drop this one, that's good, but drop one near you, maybe drop one like just beneath this wall here that connects to the jungle, right? Let's just try to be a bit more efficient rather than, you know, shooting all of our shrooms all over the place. That's a better one. Trying to go invisible again. Those two are actually fine. Alright. I think you can be auto-attacking sooner here. So it's interesting, right? Because this player actually has a sense of like what to do on the map. Like obviously there's a lot to work on, but this player has a good sense of what to do, but it's actually the micro that I'm noticing a lot. So here again, we queue and we start autoing. Alright. So I want to see you auto queue, and the other thing is that I think you could start hitting Warwick a lot sooner there. Like he's just sprinting at you. He's inside of your auto attack range. That's when we need to kite rather than just run. Alright. So we're probably going towards a Shadow Flame here, which I like a lot. I would have gone for Shadow Flame second just because of what's her face, Nami. Okay, she gets absolutely one shot. Okay, I think you thought about going around the wall. Yeah, because you kind of start to walk up, right? Like you start to walk up this way, and then you're like, oh no, and you come back here. But I actually think if you saw what was happening, especially in terms of that MF ult, cutting everyone down, it was a great idea to walk up this way. That's what I really wanted you to do, actually, but I think you almost had the right idea there. Okay. So I think we pretty much end here. So yeah, look guys, like overall, I think you played solid. I really liked your roams. I think your movement around the map was probably the best part. I think you also used Teemo's passive really well. You know, again, a few things to work on here. Just assessing assessing danger a bit better. And sometimes that's HP values, sometimes that is, you know, fog of war and like where could the enemies be. There is some shroom placement stuff, so start to think about not just placing shrooms in the middle of things, but where do people actually path through, and that's usually around like hugging walls, or yeah, it's normally not right in the middle of river, for instance. And then as well, if we just go back and think to remember early game, it's really important that we're abusing level 2 power spikes, and I'm going to start harping on that a lot more when I see lower elo bot lane players. That is something we need to be doing. It's one of your biggest times in the game to get a free kill. So guys, if you enjoyed, if you learned something, please consider dropping a like and a sub. That would be great. This has been Pope Zano. I'll see you back with the next VOD review. We out.